Hey there, my friend. How you doing? It's Chris and Gia here from chrisandgia.com. Back again with you with another very exciting episode today, all right? So today, what are we talking about? Actually, a little bonus today, all right? We're talking about how to buy a car, all right? I'm going to lay out to you 5 secret tips and strategies that help you get the best car deal, get the best price that you can get on your car with the least hassle, all right? Before we get started, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel, all right? Definitely give this video a like if it brings value to you so you can see all my trainings, all right? So we're gonna get right into it, all right? Tip number 1 is do your research, all right? The one thing that dealerships love is for someone to walk into the dealership and have not done any homework and just be buying a car on the fly. That is a major win for them and a major L for you, all right? It's absolutely one of the worst things you can do is walk into a dealership and buy a big ticket item like a car without having done any research. Now, what kind of research am I talking about? I mean, look it up online what it is that you want. If you're in the market like we were to find a car, whether used or new, do your research. What kind of car do you like? What kind of cars are reliable? What do you see yourself in, right? What is your price point? Do all that research. Find out the make, the models that you want, the year that you want, right? Find a dealership that has it, right? And then once you have all that information together, you also want to take a look at things like the Carfax. Make sure the car hasn't been through any type of crazy accident or flooding. You also want to take a look at your credit as well. Pull up your credit. You can do that with Credit Karma for free, just to see what your credit looks like so you know what you're dealing with before you walk into the dealership. If you can, even try to secure a loan with your bank or maybe a credit union. They tend to give pretty good rates as well. One of the best places to go to do research, TrueCar. That's where we went to, right? And let me tell you a story why it's so important for you to do the research. We were looking at a particular car. It was a Honda because that's what I had and I wanted to get back into my Accord. When we went to the dealership, we saw on the internet it was priced for $15,000. We went to the dealership, their tag said $20,000. And real talk, this is what they said. They were like, oh, this is for people who walk in and they haven't done any research. We're going to start them off at this price. Right. Foolishness. Okay, so don't be fooled. That's exactly what you're doing if you don't what you're doing if you don't do your research. Tip number 2, tag team partner up. All right, that means take a partner, take a buddy with you when you go car buying. Okay, car buying is just like any sales transaction. It's an emotional transaction. Sales is emotional. The whole process is emotional. The reason why you buy is because of certain emotions. And so because you are the one buying the car and this car is for you, you may have some preconceived emotions and biases towards the vehicle, right? That can affect your ability to make a decision when you're there on the battlefield with the dealership, whether it's a used or a new car, negotiating the price and all those things. Take a tag team partner. They can be there with you to keep you objective, to keep you focused on the things that are important. Heck, the dealership has all these people there working. They got one sales guy, another sales guy, their general manager, supervisor, all these people. Hey, you should at least have one person on your team when you go into battle, all right? For example, my wife, she's my tag team partner. She knows way more about cars than I do, that I ever will, okay? So when she's with me, she's a negotiating, smooth, calm machine. And the fact that she's not buying the car makes her even more dangerous as well. One of the things that we like to do is when we're there, she helps me peep things out as I'm looking at the car. In fact, she peeped out the fact that, hey, when we wanted to see the car that we were looking at, that just some guy came in, tried to take the keys and say, hey, you know what, we have someone who's looking at it who actually wants to buy it, right? And, you know, they have all kinds of sales strategies, and she picked that up real quick. She was like, oh, okay, someone's trying to buy it. Cool, no problem. Well, we're just gonna see if it's a good fit for us anyway. It don't matter, right? So it's awesome. You definitely want to have a tag team buddy. Tip number 3, you definitely want to understand the difference between used and new cars. This one was new for me. I didn't know this. When you're shopping for a used and new car, there are several differences that you have to keep in mind, which help you understand the negotiation process. For example, when you're talking about a new car, then the price on the new car is actually very negotiable and can be haggled pretty good. When it talks about when you're talking about a used car, not so much. And it has to do with the way the dealership acquires it and the profit margin. But let's just say there's not much haggling and negotiation room with a used car, maybe a couple $100. But what you see in the used car in the dealership is pretty much what you're gonna pay. All right, but with the new car, you can actually take off thousands, really, right? Depending on how good you are with your skill sets in negotiations. Another thing comes down to financing too. Let's say you're not paying cash, but you're financing. You'll find that you can get pretty good interest rates with the new car. When I bought my Honda, I got like almost 0%, 2%. It was amazing. But with a used car, even with a really good credit score, and my credit score is good, I was only able to get about 4%, and that was the lowest, 4.7. So keep that in mind when you're looking at about used and new cars. So when you're negotiating, you don't want to be saying, hey, I want $1,000 off the used car price when it's feasibly not possible for the dealership. They would not do that. Tip number 4, always talk about the total price, okay? If you walk in there with a concept of, oh, I want a certain car payment, monthly payment, you're losing. That's an instant loss on your end, okay? Why? It's because the dealership can always manipulate a bunch of different things. They can manipulate the monthly payment. They can manipulate the interest rate. They can do all kinds of stuff with those numbers to get you what it is that you're looking for. But at the end of the day, you want to focus on the total price of what you are paying for that car, because that's all that matters is the total price. That's how much you're going to come out of your pocket. It doesn't matter what your monthly payment is. It doesn't matter what your interest rate is. All that matters is that you get the best deal you can on the total price. So whenever you're talking and negotiating, you're always talking about the total price, because they're going to always say, well, what kind of monthly payment are you looking for? And you're going to say, well, you know what? I'm really open to it. I'm looking for a car that has this price. No more than $15,000. No more than $20,000. You're always looking at the total price, and you will always walk out a winner. And then number 5, my biggest tip is when you walk into the dealership, don't be thirsty, okay? What do I mean by that? Don't be thirsty. Just like you wouldn't go to the grocery store on an empty stomach, because why? You would buy up the whole store because you're so hungry. You don't walk into the dealership hungry to buy a car. Because why? You're going to be easily pulled to buy a car. Remember, a sales transaction is all emotional energy. And if you have an energy of desperation, like you need to buy this car, you have already lost. Why? Because that energy can be felt. And once the dealer knows that you have to buy a car, you're done. Game over, okay? The best position you can be in is to be in a place where you don't even have to buy this car right now. If it doesn't work out right there, you are willing to walk away. That is your biggest bargaining chip, the ability to walk away and say, you know what? This doesn't look like a good deal for me right now. I'm gonna walk away. How powerful is this? Let me tell you a story. When my wife was buying a car from my mother-in-law, she utilized the same exact strategy. She knew what car my mother-in-law wanted to buy and what year, and she knew what price she was willing to pay for it. The dealers were playing hardball and wouldn't give her that price. My wife was like, you know what, Mama? We just gotta go. And they literally got up and walked and were in their car about to drive away when they get a knock on their window saying, boop, 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 from the dealership woman saying, ma'am, please come inside. We can make this deal work. Let's make this thing work. Imagine that. Who has the power now? Yes, that's right. Been shifted all the way to my mother-in-law and my wife, right? Because they didn't need it. They didn't have this thirst for the buy of the car, right? They were willing and able to walk away. So you definitely never want to walk into the dealership with this thirst that you gotta buy. And one nice little tip is, hey, set up another car that you like at another dealership, just so that if that one doesn't work out, you don't feel the need that you have to make this purchase. You can get up and walk away, all right? So I hope that was valuable. I hope this information is helpful in your car buying experience, all right? If it is, definitely give the video a like, all right? Definitely subscribe to the channel. And hey, leave a comment below. What are some of your biggest strategies and tips when you go out to buy a used car or a new car from the dealership or from whomever else, all right? And if you use these strategies, hey, tell us how it worked out, okay? And oh, by the way, if you want to learn how an overworked pharmacist who was struggling online generated 16 leads and had a one sign up and made $58.50 in his online business for the first time, this guy, then you definitely want to check out the link, all right? Put your name and email address in, and you'll get access to that free 14-minute video that reveals to you the exact truth and how it was done, all right? So, hey, that's it, my friend. Until next time, be blessed, stay hungry out there. I'll see you soon. Bye now.